Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I am Anna, and today we are talking about how music can help you learn and remember new things.
That sounds fun. I already know music can change my mood, but I never thought much about how it affects memory.
It affects memory in several interesting ways. Music can make information easier to remember because it gives the brain patterns, rhythm, and repetition. A pattern is something that repeats in a regular way. Rhythm is the beat or movement in music. Repetition means something happens again and again. These three things can act like memory hooks, which are small mental supports that help you hold on to information.
Memory hooks is a nice phrase. So music is not magic, but it gives the brain a structure to follow.
Exactly. And that structure is useful for English learners. Think about how many people remember the alphabet song. The tune helps the order stay in your head. Or think about a simple chant with a list of words. When language has melody and rhythm, it can become more memorable. In English, the word memorable means easy to remember. Something memorable stays in your mind longer than something ordinary.
That explains why I still remember songs from years ago, even when I forget what I ate yesterday. Why does music stay so strong in the brain?
One reason is that music activates multiple parts of the brain at the same time. It can involve listening, emotion, language, and even movement if you tap your foot or clap along. When many parts work together, the memory becomes stronger. Emotional connection also matters. Emotion means feeling. If a song makes you happy, calm, or nostalgic, your brain pays more attention. Nostalgic means it reminds you of the past in a warm or sentimental way.
So emotion is like glue for memory. I can remember a song from a special trip because it is connected to a strong feeling.
Yes, and that is why teachers sometimes use music in the classroom. Music can lower stress and make a learning environment feel more relaxed. Learning environment means the place and atmosphere where learning happens. If students feel calm, they may focus better. But the key is choosing the right kind of music. Very loud or distracting music can make concentration harder. Concentration means the ability to focus your mind on one thing.
That is important. Some people say, I study best with music, and other people say, I need complete silence. Which one is right?
Both can be right, depending on the person and the task. If you are doing a simple, repetitive task, gentle music may help. If you are reading difficult material or writing something complex, silence may be better. A practical tip is to experiment. Try one study session with music and one without music. Notice your results. Ask yourself, did I understand more? Did I remember more? Did I feel more distracted?
That is a smart way to test it. I like that you said experiment, because then I do not have to guess. I can observe my own habits.
Exactly. Observe is a useful word here. It means to watch carefully and notice details. Another helpful idea is background music. Background music is music that plays quietly while you do something else. It can create a pleasant atmosphere. Atmosphere means the feeling of a place or situation. A calm atmosphere can make studying feel less stressful.
I often listen to instrumental music while I work. Instrumental means there are no lyrics, right?
Yes, instrumental music usually has no singing or very little singing. That can be useful because lyrics compete with language processing. Processing means thinking about and understanding information. If you are reading in English, songs with lyrics may pull your attention away from the text. So for language study, many learners prefer instrumental music, lo-fi beats, classical music, or soft jazz.
I have also heard people use songs to memorize vocabulary. How does that work?
Songs can help because they repeat words in a meaningful context. Context means the words and ideas around something. When you hear a new word in a sentence or song, you understand not just the word, but how it is used. Repetition plus context is powerful. For example, if a chorus repeats a phrase many times, your brain gets several chances to store it. Chorus is the part of a song that repeats, often the most catchy part.
Catchy is a great word. It means easy to remember, right?
Yes, catchy means easy to notice and hard to forget. A catchy melody or slogan stays in your head. But there is a small warning here. Just because something is catchy does not mean it is the best learning tool for every topic. Some songs have grammar errors, unnatural phrases, or slang that may confuse beginners. Slang means informal language used in everyday speech, often by specific groups.
So I should not memorize every line from a song and assume it is perfect English.
Correct. A good learner listens critically. Critically means carefully and thoughtfully. You can ask, is this phrase natural? Would native speakers really use it in daily conversation? Is it formal or informal? This is a great skill because music can expose you to authentic language, but authentic does not always mean suitable for every situation. Authentic means real and not artificial.
That is a useful distinction. I have heard some songs use poetic language too. Poetic language can be beautiful, but maybe not the same as normal conversation.
Exactly. Poetry and song lyrics often bend grammar for artistic effect. Artistic effect means the special feeling created by art. That is wonderful for expression, but learners should separate style from standard usage. One practical method is to listen to a song, then write down a few useful phrases, not the entire lyric. Check those phrases in a dictionary or a reliable example sentence. Reliable means trustworthy and accurate.
I like that method. So I can enjoy the music and still learn responsibly. Are there other memory techniques that work well with music?
Yes. One technique is chunking. Chunking means breaking information into smaller groups. You can put vocabulary into a short song, a chant, or a simple melody. Another technique is association. Association means connecting one idea to another idea. For example, you can connect a new word to a tune, an image, or a personal memory. The stronger the association, the easier it is to recall later.
Could you give me a real example with English vocabulary?
Sure. Imagine you want to remember the word appointment. You could create a short rhythm and repeat, appointment, appointment, do not be late for the appointment. The rhythm helps the word stand out. Or you could associate it with your doctor visit, your work meeting, or a calendar reminder. The idea is to give your brain more than one path to the word. Path means a route. In memory, a path is a way to find information again.
That makes sense. The more paths, the easier it is to find the memory. I guess musicians use similar ideas when they practice.
Absolutely. Musicians use repetition, structure, and gradual improvement. Gradual means happening little by little, not all at once. That is a helpful model for language learning too. If you practice a little every day, the results can grow over time. You do not need to master everything in one sitting. In fact, short sessions are often better than one long, exhausting session.
That is encouraging. Sometimes I think I need a huge amount of time to improve, but small daily practice feels more realistic.
Exactly. Realistic means practical and possible. Let us add one more tip. If you want to use music for learning, choose songs with clear pronunciation. Pronunciation means the way words are spoken. Clear pronunciation helps you hear word boundaries and sounds more accurately. You can also slow down the song, read the lyrics, and underline new vocabulary. After that, try singing or speaking the lines from memory.
Speaking from memory sounds challenging, but also fun. It is like a mini test.
Yes, and tests are useful when they help you notice what you know and what you still need to practice. Self-testing is a powerful study habit. If you can recall the word without looking, that is a strong sign that you learned it. If you cannot, then you know where to focus next. That is better than just reading and hoping the words will stay in your head.
I like that. So music can support memory, but it works best when I use it actively, not passively.
Exactly. Active learning means you participate, not just listen. You can sing, repeat, write, translate, or explain the meaning to yourself. Passive learning means you only receive information without much effort. Passive listening can still be enjoyable, but active learning usually leads to deeper memory. Here is a simple routine: choose one song, listen once for enjoyment, listen again with the lyrics, mark 3 useful expressions, and then review them later the same day.
That sounds doable. I can imagine turning one song into a whole lesson. I do have one question, though. Can music ever be bad for concentration or memory?
Yes, if it is too loud, too fast, or emotionally distracting. Also, if you always rely on music, you may struggle to study in quiet environments, like a library or an exam room. So balance is important. Balance means keeping different things in a healthy proportion. Use music as a tool, not as a crutch. A crutch is something you depend on too much. You want music to help you, not control your learning.
That is a great warning. So the goal is flexibility. I should be able to learn with music and without music.
Exactly. Flexibility is a strength. If you remember one idea from today, remember this: music can improve memory by adding rhythm, repetition, emotion, and structure, but the best results come when you use it thoughtfully. Choose the right songs, focus on useful language, and practice actively. Then music becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a learning partner.
Let me recap the main points. We learned that music can help memory because it creates patterns, rhythm, and repetition. We talked about important vocabulary like memorable, nostalgic, instrumental, context, catchy, pronunciation, and balance. We also learned practical tips like choosing clear songs, using lyrics actively, testing different study methods, and not depending on music all the time.
Perfect recap. And if you want to improve your English, try this challenge today: pick one short song, write down 3 useful phrases, and review them twice before the end of the day. Small steps can lead to big progress. Thanks for listening to the English Daily Podcast, and if this episode helped you, please subscribe for more practical English learning conversations.